All right, I'm a little quick. Welcome to Cloud Chat, where we play a game. Today we're playing Overwatch and discuss the latest news or some other thing going on in cloud gaming. Right now, our newest thing is Microsoft and Nvidia announcing their expansive new gaming deal. Microsoft is signing a 10-year partnership to bring Xbox PC games to GeForce Now, which is really going to help them beef up that game library. With us today, we've got Black Knight,
Hey,
Hefe,
What's up?
and Zod.
Yo.
I'm a little quick, and what's this going to mean for GeForce Now's game library?
everything. It's gonna mean everything. I shouldn't say everything. It's gonna be a huge step in the right direction. Because how many people, how many AAA third-party developers and publishers are under Microsoft? A whole bunch. This is almost everything everybody wanted, except for a couple of other publishers. Now the question is how many games from Game Pass will be added here?
Yeah. Is it all of them? Like I said, last I saw it was 446. Obviously, this means that GeForce Now is going to be integrating more closely with Microsoft Store, which will get more people in there.
I don't think many gamers actually use the Microsoft Store, but this might entice people to use it since it'll be directly integrated with GeForce Now. Now.
So, with all these games, is this going to shore up GeForce Now and bring them up to par with Boosteroid as far as their game library?
Well, like I said, it's a definite step in the right direction. And the thing is, they're going to be official.
That's true.
Boosteroid is not official, so
There's always a chance that those games can get pulled somehow, some way.
yes, we will have no install feature under GeForce Now. So
It doesn't mean GeForce Now is not immune to getting pulled out of.
That's
we
true.
saw that happen to God of War and some other things.
Yes.
But the Microsoft deal will be in place for at least 10 years, right?
yes.
So
Theoretically.
this means
Theoretically, 10 years, but the deal has to
Theoretically.
go through. The deal with Activision has to go through. So
because we know this isn't all just Microsoft being nice to cloud gamers all of a sudden. This is coinciding with their Activision merger and the fact that they want Nvidia no longer objecting to their Activision merger.
right, which is probably why they're making a deal with the Nintendo as well.
Correct. Nintendo got that 10-year deal as well. So Microsoft is making big promises in order to get what they want, which is Activision Blizzard in their pocket.
Which I don't hate them for doing it. But,
Nope. Call of Duty, Overwatch, all the Blizzard properties, all those big MMO stuff. You've got a lot going on there.
Oh, what about Valorant? Does that include Valorant? Riot Games are going to be under Microsoft.
Valorant would have to completely rehaul their anti-cheat for that to work.
If they're official, then I'm sure they can make it happen.
Yeah, they might have to do some exceptions, but that's a vulnerability that can be targeted. But yeah, no, for sure.
Would WB now want to come back to GeForce Now?
Well, I mean, that's going to matter with how big cloud gets. So we know that this is a step in the right direction. This is more publishers. This is more everything that I'm assuming that Microsoft has permission to do this from all the publishers set up to their Game Pass system. So they can kind of transfer those rights to GeForce Now in this regards. Good news for Microsoft Store, good news for everything else. But does this take cloud to be mainstream? We're obviously waiting for the day that GeForce Now is as synonymous with gaming, or Boosteroid or whoever is synonymous with gaming as Netflix is with videos.
Yeah.
How much closer are we to that spot?
With all these titles, I do believe that even more would come to GeForce Now after this.
Absolutely.
I
I know,
It takes one publisher to go, and
Domino's.
Are
Yep.
going to follow suit.
Domino's.
That was one of the biggest things we were talking about, like the transition between like if we would need new consoles because that we have new technology on TVs where people can play their games Roku style with these different apps being loaded. You know what that could mean for the future of cloud gaming.
Correct. So by putting Boosteroid on TVs, they're obviously widening their potential market. But GeForce Now putting their stuff on an Xbox is widening their market in a much more direct manner. When a
Yeah.
man buys a TV, he might just want to watch some TV. When a man buys an Xbox, he wants to play some games. This is exactly the market that GeForce is looking for.
Yeah,
And
which
Nvidia
makes me
is.
yeah, which makes us, at least me, think that the next Xbox will be a hybrid console. You'll have the ability to get your own games, and however you want to do that, but also have it digitally through either Xbox Cloud or GeForce Now. We'll have to see how that down the line after the next hybrid Xbox, how that would go if it would go all digital. But for the next one, definitely hybrid Xbox.
You also have made videos and made points before about why the Xbox Keystone didn't work.
So the Xbox Keystone, which currently got shelved, was the Xbox's cloud-only console. So it was supposed to be under $100. It was supposed to be the solution for Xbox Cloud and the multiple controller problem that it has right now. It also was supposed to be the solution for 4K Xbox Cloud gaming. And that got shelved because it could not support 4K, the 4K decode. They could not afford a GPU for that device that could decode 4K under $100.
That's the kicker with cloud, is that to get good quality 4K decoding, you need a high-end GPU.
Yes.
And since it's already going to cost you a few $100s, a little bit more, and you have a full-fledged console, so why get rid of the full-fledged console?
The developer who commented on our video regarding that said, it was too expensive. Nvidia doesn't seem to have a problem, but of course everybody relies on their own GPU. Like, I've got a 2070. You need at least a 1000 series GPU to decode the 4K. Definitely a hybrid solution for Xbox that would solve their price problem.
It would. It would keep people coming back. So this is obviously a big blow to Boosteroid because their big advantage over GeForce Now is their game library, but they're still going to maintain quite a berth there, but this is definitely closing that gap significantly.
Yeah,
but
and
what does this mean for Boosteroid?
Well, for right now, Boosteroid still has Rockstar. So GTA, Red Dead Redemption 2, that whole mantra of games.
What about Warner Games? Are they on?
And
Game
yes,
Pass?
they do have some WB games too. So plus Elden Ring. Which is my pick game Right.
I want on GeForce Now more
Game
than
of the year.
anything.
So
For me.
that would only make sense that they would try to that they have it now, but I can see that coming to GeForce Now, especially after this deal.
The other thing is, how does Boosteroid combat this? What does Boosteroid do to stay in the game? Obviously, the logical move would be to go after Xbox's main competitor and strike up a deal with Sony.
See, now you're thinking that's a that's a 200 IQ move, though.
It is, and as much as I think that would be glorious, we do know that Sony has their own cloud service brewing, their own cauldron where they're throwing in their ingredients. They
Which
may
is
not be too
successful, but you have Boosteroid has their games on their platform. Not all of them, but of course the big hitters like Spider-Man and God of War. And if they went with Sony, if Sony just kind of, I'd say, bought them out almost, that way, or at least put some money in there, that would be one of the biggest things. Boosteroid, and that would be massive competition right there.
Yes,
And even
we would.
talking about PS Plus 2, we were talking about before with WB games. There's already a ton of them on the PlayStation Plus platform. And
Oh.
also that would also help with the whole install feature with things not being official.
Yep.
So if they get PS Plus, well, specifically Sony, if they get Sony on board with that, then they wouldn't have to necessarily worry about the install feature because everything would be legit.
Yep.
That's interesting too. What if Boosteroid played that against GeForce Now? Because we know GeForce Now plays nice with the publishers. Boosteroid don't care, or at least will push the wallet, push the envelope wherever they can. But we know GeForce Now respects the publishers. So if Boosteroid started getting exclusives, GeForce Now, by their own playbook, would have to play nice. But Boosteroid doesn't play nice in return.
Yeah,
it's like they're playing by different rules here.
Would Boosteroid have to start playing nice if they were bought out by Sony?
If they were bought out, I would
Yeah.
imagine probably, but I don't think that's. I think it'd be more of a partnership. I think it would be a smart move by Sony just to get their toes in somewhere. Of course, the counter move by Nvidia would be to hook up with Sony as well, but I don't think that's going to happen so close to, on the heels of a deal with Microsoft, their main competitor.
Yep.
I think the biggest thing in the end, though, I mean, if, like we said, nothing's official, and of course we don't know for sure if a deal with Sony and Boosteroid would happen, but if it did happen, it would help Boosteroid a ton. It would literally be GeForce Now versus Boosteroid.
Yep.
Correct. There would be parity
Top
between
dogs.
the companies.
Yep.
Yeah.
It would be a,
Coke and Pepsi.
like you said,
Yeah.
Coke and Pepsi, the move. Yep.
I think the
Beautiful.
only other one that could really make a claim, especially because they're getting, like you guys mentioned earlier, they got that deal too, would be Nintendo, because then with their stuff plus Microsoft stuff plus Nintendo's, now they can make their stake and claim in the lead too.
Yeah. Can you imagine Nintendo's stuff on GeForce Now?
That would be amazing. If
insane.
they
I
actually
think
be
pulled it
insane.
off,
that would
but
arguably be a bigger acquisition, in my opinion.
Oh,
it
imagine
would be
playing
because
Zelda.
Nintendo does not give their IPs to other people.
I know.
Period.
Yeah, I
So
know.
Yeah.
it would be. That's the least likely of all the things we've talked about is Nintendo putting their games on a cloud service.
Yep.
Very unlikely.
I mean, they already have a number of their games on their cloud service, but I mean, it's not outside of them.
It's theirs.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
I guess anything's possible. We didn't think this deal was going to happen, so you never know.
No, this deal came out of nowhere. Just surprise.
Yeah.
Microsoft's in it to win it, and GeForce Now's got another big stack of new publishers and titles in their library coming soon. TM.
Yep.
Who knows when this is actually going to be activated?
I guess I'll find out more information tomorrow.
Well, what are our closing thoughts? I mean, for me, this is huge news for GeForce Now. This might solve gamers' biggest complaints with that,
Yep.
but it doesn't solve all of those problems.
Not
Like
yet.
getting Call of Duty, getting Overwatch, getting any Game Pass games. That's awesome, but getting games that are, my personal pick, Elden Ring. That's not coming with this. So it doesn't fix all the holes in the ship, but it does patch a few. What about y'all?
Yeah, this might be the gateway to mainstream for cloud gaming. If this might put GeForce Now in a position to be the Netflix of cloud gaming. So that's my take. We'll have to see how it is the next
Going with
of
the
the
positive outlook, where I'm pessimistic this time.
Hey, I mean, this is what we were waiting for. This is how.
Yes.
It was Call of Duty, and it was GTA.
Yep.
So we're and in terms of how many people contact us over, hey, is Call of Duty coming to the platform? This solves that. Now it's next.
all the
It's
time.
all the time. That and
So many
GTA.
comments.
So many comments.
Is this game coming to this platform? Is
Right.
like a lot of comments.
Yep.
And it's usually GeForce Now they're asking about.
Yes. So we're halfway there.
Yeah, so I would say, going along with the waiting game is really just that. It's just this is like like Knight was saying, this is the next step to getting it mainstream. So with all the speculations that we talked about, we're just waiting to see really what unfolds. Like what's next? Who's going to make deals with who? What's going to expand to what? And then see the aftermath from there. So it really only looks up right now for cloud gaming itself, and just seeing which platforms will get which games, and then that'll determine who's really running the kind of the race of the cloud gaming services right now.
Any other final thoughts before we wrap this up?
Well, that's it.
All right. Thank you very much. I'm Little Quick with Hefe, Black Knight, and Zod.
See you guys.
See you later.
See ya.